It's Shalom, one of all the glory and praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah, Kodash, the brothers and apostles, the elders, great millstone, Shalom to hopeful elect, which are the remnant of the Israelites, Israelite foreigners that don't like us, but they are us, Shalom. Okay, I'm going to be in the King James Version. I'm going to start off in Ecclesiasticus 16, verse 20. No heart can think upon these things worthily, who is able to perceive his ways. It is a tempest which no man can see, for most parts of his works are hid. Who can declare the works of his justice, or who can endure them? For his covenant is afar, and the trials of all things is at the end. So basically, this going into how who can search out the things the Lord knows, or his works, basically. Who can search out the Lord's works? None of us for because the Lord's thoughts are not our thoughts. He's above all things. Okay. So it's like basically right here, when he says right here, 21, it is a tempest which no man can see. Basically, a tempest is like for all the newcomers that don't know. A tempest is somewhat like a hurricane that you can't see through or stuff like that. Or if not a hurricane, something worse than a hurricane. Matter of fact, yeah, the Lord knowledge and understanding is worse than a hurricane. You can't see, you can't understand the purpose behind it. But he'll let us know eventually at the end, if need be. Because it's that's why it's like he tell us don't worry about it, because that's why slock. That's why he told us right here, it's like a tempest which no man could see, because it's too much for us to understand. Even if we knew some of the things that he knew exactly as of now, we'll probably perish because it's too much information. And also we in these fleshly bodies. Knowledge is power. So we probably implode. You know what I'm saying? That's why he tells us don't search out the things that's above our strength. And us searching the knowledge of the Lord, like what he exactly knows, that is way above our strength. So if anybody trying to know every last thing, what the Lord knows, you will fail. You will not last long. Matter of fact, I'm about to go to Ecclesiasticus chapter 3. I'm going to start at 19. Matter of fact, I'm going to start at 18. Yeah, I'm going to start at 18. The greater thou art, the more humble thyself, and thou shalt find favor before the Lord. So basically, the more you increase in this truth, the more you need to humble. The more you learn, the more you know, the more meek you need to be. And the Lord will find favor for you. Verse 19. Many are in high place and of renown, but mysteries are revealed unto the meek. So basically, like certain things that you really want to know, that you need to know, the Lord will reveal it to you. He's not going to show us everything, but he will reveal things that we need to know accordingly. Verse 20, for the power of the Lord is great, and he is honored of the lowly. Verse 21, seek not out things that are too hard for thee, neither search the things that are above thy strength, because it's above your strength. It's above your pay grade. The Lord ain't paying us enough to learn certain things right now. All right, he will. But right now, we got to do our part first. Like you said, through spirit, you should understand what I'm saying. Right? Because it's like, how can you do things that's above your strength? You're basically going to kill yourself at the end of the day. You know, it's like, there's no need for me to break that down. It's just simple. 22 right here. But what is commanded thee, think thereupon with reverence. For it is not needful for thee to see with thy eyes the things that are in secret. So basically, just focus on the things that he wants us to focus on, what he commands us to focus on. And that's basically do what you can to your best ability, all the commandments that you can, and have faith in his son, Yahweh Shai. It's that simple. Don't worry about things that's unnecessary. All right, don't search out things that's above your strength. Okay, and one of them things is the Lord's works. Don't try to find out, try to figure out why the Lord doing this, why the Lord doing that, why the Lord done this, why the Lord doing that. Just know at the end of the day, we fucked up. That's why the Lord chose to do this. He will give it to you and let you understand at the end of the day. Just do what you're supposed to do. Deal with it, you know? So I can throw people off a little bit, but like, basically just focus on the mission ahead. Don't worry about the things that's above your strength. What was that? Yeah, all right, 23. He that wanteth understanding will think upon vain things, and a foolish man imagine follies. So basically, if you're a fool, you're gonna force yourself to try to understand the works of the Lord. Why the Lord do this, why he think like this, why he move like that. Because you're a damn fool. And he just got to tell you don't do them type of things. What he said, what's precept? You do not want to be a fool. Oh yeah, I remember now. Ecclesiastes 21, verse 14. The inner parts of a fool are like a broken vessel, and will hold no knowledge as long as he liveth. So if you still trying to search, find out the works of the Lord, still trying to find out every last detail of what's going on out here, you's a damn fool. You will hold no knowledge as long as you live. The little bit of knowledge that you do get is going to be given to the next person, and you're going to be left without. That's just how it is. That's why the Lord told us to just focus on what he commanded us to focus on. All right? Don't worry about nothing else. Just do our part. Verse 15. If a skillful man hear a wise word, he will commend it and add unto it. But as soon as one of no understanding hear it, it will displease him, and he will cast it behind his back. That's why it's best not to search. No, best not. That's why it's best not to search out things above your strength. And we try and find out everything that the work that the Lord do. Okay, because it's too much for you. It's too much. Just let it be. Focus on things that you need to be focused on. Because the more you focus on, say for example, you try to find out who created God or whatever the case may be. The more you try and focus on that, the more you're gonna miss out or lose everything. Because you won't caught up on one specific thing that's too much above your strength. You need to focus on things that's in front of you. All right. Verse 16. The talking of a fool is like a burden in the way, but grace shall be found in the lips of a wise. And going back to Ecclesiastes 16:24, my son, hearken unto me, and learn knowledge, and mark my words with thy heart. I will shew forth doctrine and weight, and declare his knowledge exactly. So basically, what he said, take upon this information that he gave Salah. Take upon this information that he given us. Don't search out the things that's too much for us. Just stick with what he given us. We should be fine. We will find grace. And as long as we hearken to the lips of the wise, we shall be fine. And that's who? The Lord. Yahweh Shah. Right here though in Ecclesiastes, this is, for all the newcomers that don't know, this is King Solomon writing this. But don't forget though, this is Yahweh Shah reincarnated when he was King Solomon. So it's basically him letting us know what the Father is telling us again. All right, let me finish reading. Verse 26. The works of the Lord are done in judgment from the beginning, and from the time he had made them, he disposed partially of them. He garnished his works forever, and in his hands are the chief of them unto generations. And garnish, in other words, basically is like increase, or like, I would say, make it better than what it already is. The Lord does that non-stop. Non-stop, make things better than what it already is. So you definitely can't keep up. You can't search, because once you find out one thing about the Lord, he already a million times ahead of what that one thing he just revealed to you, you know? So it's like, there's no point even trying to search out too far. Just stick with what he gave you, all right? What was that? All right. They neither labor nor are weary, nor cease from their works. None of them hinder another, and they shall never disobey his word, because they understand. And the people that he talk about is the elect right here, because they understand the works of the Lord is unsearchable. So we might as well just stick with what he gave us, and he'll let us know what we need to know accordingly. Verse 29. After this, the Lord looked upon the earth and filled it with his blessings. With all manners of living things have he covered the face thereof, and they shall return to it again. It's basically going into what's about to happen. All right. As long as we focus on what we need to be focused on, it's going to happen regardless. The elect, they're going to obey, just like it just said right here. All right. So there's no need to even worry about anything. If you are sincerely doing what you're supposed to do, most likely you are the elect. All right. If you honestly, sincerely with yourself, and you're going to do accordingly, and you're not going to disobey the Lord's word. All right. So basically, the point of this lesson was, don't worry about what the Lord got going on right now. Focus on what you need to be doing so you can get your salvation at the end of the day. Because the more you focus on what the Lord got going on, the more you going to be lost in the sauce trying to figure out every goddamn thing. Just focus on what you got in front of you. All right? If it's something that you really need to know, he will give it to you. But if the Lord ain't give it to you right then and there, don't say fuck that shit, but put it to the side. He'll bring it back up when necessary. All right? Because the more you trying to search out that one specific thing, the more you will be a fool, and the more you become a fool, and the more you will miss out on. That's the whole point of this lesson, though. All right, so hopefully that was edifying, straight to the point. I'm gonna give all the glory and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash, double also the apostles, and elders, great millstone. Shalom to hopeful elect. Which are the remnant of the Israelites, Israelite foreigners. They don't like us, but they are us. Shalom.